on today. He's definitely. Oh.
I'm okay.
What up, though? And welcome back to whatever it's live on woodsports.com. I'm Easy. That's been more Rax.
What up, though?
We got young Chris in the TV booth.
Yes, sir.
We got the legendary, one of the first guys to work here at Woodward Sports. Fish makes his return in the sound booth. Shout out.
Shout out, Fish.
Thanks, Fish, for filling in today. We definitely could use you guys. No, but we are definitely have hot mics, and I'm already off to a bad start.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys hit that like button. 5-star review to our podcast platforms. Follow Woodward Sports. Follow myself at Speedy Sports _.
Just
follow
in case it's the last
Spinmore
time.
Rax. Follow the real Chris Platte. What'd you say?
Just in case it's the last time.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case we get hot mic'd.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is definitely the show to like watch out for getting hot mic'd. Definitely. I want to apologize to anyone I may have offended yesterday with our comments about Brad Holmes and the future of this team as it pertains to 2023. A lot of you guys seem to a bit upset, and I just I wanted to say bye, because you're a bunch of sheep. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, it's in the past.
It's in the past. I am over it. I mean, there's definitely
On to the Chargers.
for a minute.
I wish we had a game this week.
I do wish we had a game this week, but we don't. By the way, barbecue bye week at Stick's house.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Bye-week barbecue.
Bye week barbecue. Sounds like Chris's vacation.
Oh boy, Christmas is early.
This is hilarious to me, and I apologize to Chris for not getting the side by side. I will work on it. Maybe I'll I'll start with something else and we'll go to that. But the Connor Stallion stuff is making waves.
Yeah, this guy is a lunatic, man. He's got a manifesto of Michigan that he wrote. Apparently, people are saying he was on the sidelines for the MSU Central game. I don't know what to. I don't know what is going on,
Bro, the one where it's like, if he really was there for do you think he was? Do you think it was him at the Central Michigan
It
game?
looks like him.
But it also just looks like another white dude with glasses.
Yeah, that's fair. We all do look alike.
And that guy, had a whole head of lettuce. The Connor Stallion's of Michigan's
It
bald.
makes it even funnier if he was weering a wig.
Bro, it's way funnier if this
that
dude was
would
wearing
be
a wig.
even better.
Way even funnier. But now that I'm thinking about it, if he is bald, that would make more sense if he wanted to disguise himself. You know what I'm saying? Because you could wear just different wigs every single time.
It's fair.
I'm so over this. Is it stealing signs? Is that a big of a deal for
I have no idea.
It blows my mind.
I already talked about it when it first happened. Don't care.
Dude, I truly don't. Do you think it affected the rankings?
No.
College football rankings that came out?
No.
Were you surprised to see Michigan at number 3?
Not really.
No?
No. I mean, they go off strength of schedule a lot for the college football playoff rankings. So,
But I feel like Georgia's got a weak schedule too, and I'd argue Michigan's dominated their guys more. We'll talk about that. We got that in the show. DPJ. We didn't talk too much about it yesterday. It was I didn't know the word to say for it. We were mourning yesterday. We were kind of just recovering from that trade deadline. And I did mention it though. I did like the DPJ trade. I think I may have mentioned this yesterday. I don't know if I did or not, but I'm kind of questioning what this means for Jamison Williams, and we'll have more information on that as the show goes on. Also, mixing up with more player controversy, if you will see it that way. I don't see it as a bad thing at all. But what's going to happen in this backfield now that Jameer's arrived?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're smart guys. They're good coaches. They'll be able to figure out what's going on and how to dish out the touches between both of them. But we're going to get into that. Jeff ruined the fantasy league in other news.
Yep. Shout out to Jeff Freddie for ruining the Woodward Sports Fantasy League.
Yeah.
Do you think there was collusion on that one?
There was collusion.
Can you want to pull up the trade details? Or
It was so Jeff traded Braylon A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And in return, for A.J. Brown, who is the number 1 receiver in fantasy right now, Jeff got back Christian Watson, Odell
Nice.
Beckham Jr.,
Nice.
and the Seahawks defense.
Oh, that's a steal.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
And then everything, hit the fan after that. We all started trading our teams away.
Jeff started it though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But what was the Marquise Brown they were all bitching about? I don't even remember what trade that was. I feel like it wasn't even
Chris Godwin was the one they were talking about.
Okay.
It was Chris Godwin for Marquise Brown and Michael Gallup or something like that, which isn't nearly as bad.
No.
Not even
No.
close to
Not
being
even
as
close.
bad as A.J. Brown.
Jeff ruined the fantasy league. Jeff and Braylon.
Danny G said, "Wait, what?" Yeah, Jeff and Braylon, they colluded. I don't know. I don't know the details of the collusion. I don't know if there was collusion, but
don't know if they wore protection.
Yeah,
but they
doesn't look good on paper.
It does not look good. And from then, if you guys wonder why we said it ruined the fantasy league, all hell broke loose from that point.
Yeah, after that, I made a point, and I traded Tyreek Hill for Treylon Burks straight up.
I traded Jamar Chase for DJ Chark Jr. straight up.
Yeah, and then Lucas traded his whole team, like Jalen Warren, Jalen Hurts, Jahan Dotson, and somebody else to Braylon for nobody.
And Maz is pissed.
Noah's pissed Maz
too. Is livid. He called me a pussy.
Yeah, he did.
Maz called me a pussy.
He did.
Yeah.
But no talk about Lucas.
No talk about Lucas. No.
Or Jeff.
They just
Maybe he thinks I'm soft.
Maybe Maz is a part of the collusion.
They just skate
by. Maz a little less.
How many times do we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Listen, the way I think it should have went, if for everybody listening, they have like a fantasy league that has like gone down the same path, get the money up front.
There's no money. That's what makes it even worse. It's a free league.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting called a pussy over a free league.
It's just honor. It's all about honor.
No honor league.
Yeah,
it's
no honor
officially been renamed.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if there was money, there was supposed to be money. No one ever like paid up.
No, I don't think we ever said there was gonna be money. Did we?
I thought it was gonna be like a $30 thing.
Oh, well, if it was, I'm definitely not paying that shit now.
Also, the most random
$30.
Yeah, $30 buy-in. Like what? I mean, nothing wrong with it, but like 30? Is that what we're going with? $30?
Danny G said, "Is it a dynasty league?" No, it's not. It's not a dynasty league.
But we should do it that way.
It's a 2-man league now. I want to be in a dynasty league.
I want to be in a dynasty league too.
Yeah.
Free agents, if you guys have any
we should
open
start
spots.
A dynasty league, but we can't add Jeff.
Jeff can't.
Jeff can't be in the
Jeff can't be in the league. No. Dynasty league's got to be intense. I never took part, but
yeah, I've never been a part of them either.
Well. Yeah, anyway, Detroit Pistons played tonight. We actually just watched the Trailblazers ride past us.
Yeah. Scoot looked like he was breaking jumpers on the bus.
Already.
Dude.
Yeah.
Already. But in all seriousness, Duran dealing with an ankle injury. Is there any actual word? I saw Bagley was in the blue practice jersey for shoot-around. That
I
typically
saw
means
that
starting.
too. Yeah. Duran was
Shout
on
to
the
Mike Curtis
bike.
for that video. Yeah. Sucks because he was kind of a lock for a double-double tonight. Especially after missing the double-double the last game, the odds kind of went up on him. I wanted to make some bread off of that one. But if you are listening, Pistons fans and gamblers, if you want to make some bread tonight, Vegas, at the time I checked, had DeAndre Ayton for 11.5. Is it over? Mm-hmm. Last time he played the Pistons, both last year, I think at 29 in the other and like 30 in the other game, which was against like Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
Just know, if you guys will make a bet tonight, that 11.5 for me is a lock.
Yeah, but
it was minus like 140, I think.
He's been weird. I'm with you, Easy. I drafted him for fantasy in my money league, but he's been weird. He's gotten like 6-point games, 10-point games. Like this year, they've been splitting them with Robert Williams. They've been like, I thought he was just going to get the keys as the center. Like this team is trash. Like it's not going anywhere. They're tanking. I thought he was going to ball out and get all the usage, but he's playing like under 30 minutes in every game.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. It should be a lock, but I don't necessarily know if it is because I think he's only gotten over 11 one time this year so far. That team's weird.
First game out, my man had 4 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Scoot?
man.
No,
it's been weird.
Ayton had 4 points out the gate, game one. 14 following that, 7 after that, 10 after that.
Yikes.
But he's a Pistons killer. I mean, he kind of mid all the way around until he played the Pistons. He would just go off every year, it felt like.
Yeah. It's not about him. It's about the rotation. And it's about the fact that they play Robert Williams just as much. As soon as they trade Robert Williams a la to the Memphis Grizzlies, they need a center. Like once that happens, then DeAndre Ayton should feast. But until then, he's kind of this weird fantasy player.
Wait, is this true? The Dallas game got flexed on Monday Night Football?
Why was it supposed to be?
I don't know.
How pissed are you if you're Robert Williams, by the way? To go from the contending team to like this weird middle of the road Portland.
I mean, it gives you an opportunity to earn your bag. Remember, he signed a contract that was looked at as very team friendly because he's good when he plays, but because of his injury history, he signed a deal that kind of was worth less than what he is. So I think he's actually probably excited about it because teams around the league are going to be interested in him. Portland's no doubt going to flip him at some point, and he'll probably get more money if he could just stay on the court.
Detroit Supremacy says, I had a year where we had a guy whose season was basically over, so we traded Calvin Johnson to one of the best teams for basically nothing and pissed us all off. That's exactly what Jeff did.
What happened? I'm sorry.
Some guy his season was over, so he traded Calvin to one of the best teams and pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would piss you, especially a money league. Like, you can't be doing that.
Oh, if this is a money league, that shit wouldn't have happened. I would have burned everything down.
Absolutely. I'd need my money back.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah.
100%.
But it's even worse that it's a free league. Because in a money league, it wouldn't have went through.
Yeah.
Money league, it wouldn't have happened. In a free league, you can get away with this, but it's just your honor at stake.
Well, I saw something
You just got to
else.
look yourself in the mirror every morning.
Immediately after the Jeff trade, though, I saw, I got a notification on my email. It was like,
It got pushed through.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, collusion.
Yeah.
This is like, what, did you sign a couple autographs or
We
something?
were trying to veto it, and it got pushed through.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, okay, well, if this is what we're doing, I'm Team Ryan, because Ryan's going to buy me a brunch wrap.
Team Ryan.
All right? Anybody else who thinks they're floating around this Woodward Sports League, a brunch wrap can get you Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying. Boy, got him.
Can we just find
Joe
Kirk
Mixon.
Cousins at home, please? I've been trying to trade this man.
Poor Kurt, man. It's a wrap for him, honestly. It's Dunzos.
Yeah.
But I think he said he's a free agent this year, too, right?
Yeah.
He returns to the Vikings?
No.
No. Cooked?
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, he'll honestly, this quarterback market, like somewhere's going to flesh out, and someone's going to get the quarterback they don't want, or miss out on the quarterback they want, and he'll find a home, and he'll get a chance to redeem himself. But that kind of injury is just that's the toughest one in sports, man. You hate to see it.
Danny G says if it's a money league, hands are thrown. That's facts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's facts. But it's not a money league, so now, like I said, it's just lack of honor.
Yeah.
If you guys want to like get back at Jeff, just hit the Morning Woodward chat. What, Jeff has no honor?
Tell him he has no honor.
Yeah, Jeff has no honor. Just spam the chat. Jeff has no honor, and he can't be mad at it. He literally did it.
He did it.
It's his fault.
Yeah, he drew first blood.
He did. Jeff,
It's
you
on
gotta take accountability for this one, man. I hope you learned your lesson from when you shaved your head and you're able to just accept it. But like, this is
He's trying to blame
it's on
me.
you.
He's like, says the guy who traded Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, you started. He started.
He started
Yeah.
it.
Like once you, well, how is that your fault?
And I'm playing Braylon this week too, and he just gave him AJ Brown for free.
Yeah.
I'm sitting my entire team on the bench for
what
the
was
rest
even
of
what was even the defense he gave up in that
Seattle.
one? Seattle. That's hilarious.
I'm putting my entire team on the bench for the rest of the season in protest.
Man. Either way, smash that like button. When we get back, we'll be going in a little bit of depth about the Donovan Peoples-Jones trade, Detroit native, Michigan alum, return to Detroit. By the way, remember Valerie Loretta from Bellator?
Yeah.
Chick who knocked that girl out, started twerking.
Yeah.
Legend. That's his guy. That's his girl.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they're still a thing, but I know when he was, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. That's putting on for Detroit right there. Put one in. On for Detroit. Tell us about Big Boy, Spinny.
Let me tell you about Big Boy, because burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or a new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken, try the Dolly's chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries to our chili cheese or loaded baked potato fries. Save the room for dessert because they have the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake and funnel cake fries. They got all that and more at Big Boy.
Feldman Chevrolet. They got the best in the business. They got the best car buying experience with both elegance and speed. There's Feldman Auto in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the closest Feldman dealership towards you. And catch Woodward Sports there live every other Monday at the Feldman in Novi.
14 and a half schmeckles. Oh,
I'm an outdoor equipment call. How would you like to landscape like a legend?
15 spooples.
How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw.
Even a chainsaw.
We should just, because I have no headphones, we're going to dub every commercial. Hey, I'm going to kill you.
Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, all your equipment is Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward
Go get
Sports.
me riding
Michigan
dirty.
Road, family owned. Outdoor Equipment
Dude, that kid was a boss.
That kid was a beast. Had to be like the weight thing.
Woodward Sports own
Absolutely.
Tom Hazelway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our
Remember when
Lions
Maz dyed his
postgame
beard?
show after every Lions game all season long. Tune in to
Stick
the
was calling
Woodward
Evil
Sports
Maz.
YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game. Exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key.
Mark White's got the
When you work with Mark White and Associates, you can cancel at
Nice
any time
catch.
for any reason
I
without
wish I
penalty.
had Mark White on my fantasy
Speaking of
team.
I
flexibility,
wish I had
check
Mark
this
White on my
out.
fantasy team too.
Wasn't you just traded for A.J. Brown?
Who you work with matters.
I'll trade
Hire
my
the
boy
best
for A.J.
broker in the
Brown.
game.
You fuck just when things get hot.
14 and a half scooples.
Fall is the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Do it with the best. That's Mark over at Swiss Insurance. You can email him at mark@swissins.com or give him a call directly at 248-800-4177. That's 248-800-4177.
Check it out.
Check it out. What up and welcome back to the World Heavyweights Live on WorldSports.com. I'm your boy Easy Joy, my guy Spin Mo Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris in the TD booth. JB Swoop's gone, but we got a fill-in. We got the lovely Madeline Miller in the sound booth. Shout out. Maddie, appreciate you. We definitely needed you today, and you're killing it. Keep going. Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. 5-star review. Trade line was yesterday. Trade deadline, I should say. Apologize about that one. Trade line went down, and we came away with our feelings, most importantly. But we got those things out.
Yes.
It's done. It's over with. It's like a loss. On to the next one.
We're on to L.A.
But they did acquire Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it, Spinny.
I like it too. It was a good trade. You know, they only gave up a 6th-round pick for him. Bring him in. I said yesterday I liked it, but there was more things we had to talk about yesterday. But he's a solid weapon. We've seen him do things in this league before. He wasn't doing anything, obviously, so far this year. But you got him for a 6th-round pick. You went out there and you made it happen. It's a good depth piece to bring into the wide receiver room with Marvin Jones gone. He can return punts for you. He can return kicks for you. So I like that. I like that move. And, yeah, it's a good depth piece for the receiver room.
You want to hear my take on it, Spinny? I think it might be a little bit more than a depth piece. I like Donovan Peoples-Jones a lot.
Yeah.
Last year, obviously, we started the show with a little bit of fantasy talk. He was like a little secret weapon. He was like the number 2 wide receiver on that Browns team. I want to say, like, I looked at the numbers a little bit earlier. 839 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's just more of like that vertical threat is when you look at like Donovan Peoples-Jones. A lot of the plays he had last year. And it was when Jacoby Brissett was like the quarterback when he did work. Whenever Deshaun was, he really wasn't doing dick. It was kind of disappointing. Actually, I made that trade for Deshaun to have that stack with him and Cooper, and it was just
terrible.
Yeah, giving all the love to Peoples-Jones, but he can do it. He can catch those intermediate deep routes, or even just the straight goal routes. I mean, all the above. Donovan Peoples-Jones, in my mind, excels at that. I remember a couple years back when Odell was there, he gave nod to him being like a underappreciated guy in this league, and I think he's just that. The guy I'm nervous about, and why I think it's a little bit more than a depth piece, is Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I think at this point we're all kind of like, we could call it how it is. It's not been the greatest.
No.
Hasn't been consistent. I'll say that. And I think J-Mo will still give you great moments. It's just not on a consistent basis. But, you know, Don Peoples-Jones running those same type of routes they're asking Jameson Williams to do.
Yeah.
Don Peoples-Jones, in my opinion, has better hands. And he might be taking a couple snaps away.
He might be taking snaps away for sure. It's J-Mo's got to, be on his P's and Q's. It's just me, J-Rock, Soul, and Q. He's got to go out there. He's got to make things happen if he doesn't want to get snaps taken away from him by Donovan Peoples-Jones. This is a fast guy. This is a guy who could stretch the field. He's a Michigan man. He's from Cass Tech. He went to Michigan. So I'm sure he's happy to be home. He's happy to be playing for his hometown team. So this is something J-Mo's going to have to look out for. He's going to need to be better. Flat out. He's got to be better if he doesn't want some snaps taken away from him.
Chris, I saw you had your hand up. You want to speak on this one?
Yeah, I just when it comes to J-Mo though, my question is, because I'm with you guys, I think this is enough games where you can expect improvement, or you can expect improvement. But at the end of the day, I don't think this guy is going to be that much better. Like, how much kind of room for growth do you see left? Because it is only, it is only a handful of games still. I know it's been multiple years, and there's been injuries and suspensions and everything breaking up the consistency of it. So I do think he will get somewhat better. But how much room do you actually think J-Mo has to grow, especially now with a player who could be taking some of his opportunity away?
I think there's a lot of room for him to grow. Obviously, he's still a very talented athlete. He's a very gifted athlete. You can't teach speed and stuff like that. And a lot of players have struggled with drops at the beginning of their career. We talked about Devontae Adams. We talked about Jerry Rice. It's not unheard of for a receiver to come in the league and struggle with drops, but he's going to have to shape up. He's going to have to shape up, because that is one thing. No matter who you are,
you better shape up.
Because I need a man. And my heart is set on you.
Set on you.
You better shape up.
Better shape up.
You better understand. You gotta catch the football. Gotta catch the football. J-Mo's the one that I want. You are the one I want. J-Mo, honey, the one that I want. J-Mo's the one I want. Okay, but yeah, so
I think there's a lot of room for
there's a lot of room for him to grow.
A lot of room for growing, and I think he has the ability to hit it there. There is like the fact that, because I don't say this too, because Jared Goff spoke on it. I think I heard J-Mo speak on it too, but they don't really have a chemistry yet. Mm-hmm. Like even the throw that he had in that wheel route in the Raiders game, it was kind of like off kilter by Jared Goff. And maybe they're working on those things. J-Mo needs to work on the type of things you see from Jared Goff, because that's the reality of the situation. Even if you may look at Jared Goff and you see a couple of those wobblers and you're like, oh, they're not the best, they're still like in the vicinity of where it needs to be. And if you're like, if that's your quarterback, no matter what, that's going to be your starting quarterback, you need to adjust your routes. You need to adjust like your expectations of where that ball is going to be and just get used to like what those balls are when they get there. And that's just what they're maybe going through. But there's also just the fact that he's dropped some that were just there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, J-Mo's still going to have a piece of this offense, and he's still going to be explosive and be able to do all the things that he brings to you. But I think DPJ can bring those things a little bit more consistently. It may not be as fast. It may not be as down the field. You know, I don't forget who was against the Tampa Bay game. We cut him up on that comeback route. It was filthy. Yeah. Like, I don't think we'll see those things, but I think you'll see a lot more consistency and like catching the balls in those situations. Mm-hmm. And I'm not mad at it. Again, we still have J-Mo to watch grow. We don't have to like keep this microscope on him every single game and come in on a Monday and just bash him for like dropping open passes, because I don't want to do that. I do have expectations. I do think he could be a brilliant piece of this offense. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, it's not there yet. And this is a guy to kind of, I don't know, to kind of siphon some of that away. Mm-hmm. Like, he's a free agent at the end of the season. So this season is like, all right, we need to do this now. You know, we have this offense. We have expectations this year. We need somebody who can consistently stretch the defense, and they think that's what Donovan Peoples-Jones is. So hopefully he can come in here. Hopefully he has a good relationship with Goff, and they're clicking on all cylinders, and you can use him as a weapon. But J-Mo, you know, you better shape up. He's got to start catching these balls. He's got to start being more active, and like I said, I still have a lot of faith in the kid. I still think he can be a very, very good player in the NFL, but he's going to need to go out there and improve for sure.
I do have one question, though, because I just saw it pop in the chat. And actually two questions. One may extend to a Khalif Raymond topic. Shout out to DNC ENT. But seeing J-Mo kind of struggle to gain a chemistry with Jared Goff, is it fair to say maybe that there's those same expectations with DPJ? Or do you think they'll...
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be, you know, just immediate connection, immediate chemistry. Like, it does take some time, but I don't know. I think we'll see.
Just get like nervous about it.
It's going to take all year for this, too. No, we're going to have to see, man. We'll see. Hopefully he gets some snaps in the Chargers game. We'll see what can happen. Maybe you throw him a couple balls. But they have a whole bye week. If I was Dan Campbell, during this bye week and during next week, I would lock Jameson Williams, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Jared Goff in the training facility. Mm-hmm. Just be like, you guys aren't going home.
Feed them through like a tube in the door.
Feed them through a slit in the door.
Yeah.
You know, send them Chick-fil-A, feed them good, but like, you guys aren't going home. Like, you need to work on this. So we'll see.
Yeah, and again, either way, I think that DPJ just has better hands, and if this may mean nothing, but he's gone through a quarterback cycle there in Cleveland as well.
You better shape
like, don't forget about Baker Mayfield, who was there beforehand, Deshaun Watson, then Jacoby Brissett. Like, I think Jacoby even got hurt before Deshaun fully came back. PJ Walker. Like, he's had like a multitude of quarterbacks to like. Maybe there's something to gain from that. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that everybody's going to give you the ball a little bit differently. Either way, I think he has to now. And no disrespect to J-Mo, he just has better hands straight up.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like I said, he's something that he's got to work on. And hopefully it happens sooner than later. Hopefully that chemistry, hopefully those hands get together. J-Mo, I want to see you on that jugs machine with Amir. I have to practice every day. Like,
yeah, that's what hurts a little bit with the J-Mo stuff. And maybe some of that stuff is God-given. You know, I mean, I'm not a professional athlete. I can't speak to it, but you see Nelson Aguilar, who is like just constantly ridiculed for like the drops. It's like, okay, as a professional athlete who has all day to focus on your craft and millions of dollars to go out and do what needs to be done to get better at it, and you're still consistently dropping balls, is like, okay, maybe you're just at the end of the day never going to be good at catching the ball. And I think that's a little something that Dan Campbell hinted to in the offseason. He was like, look, he's never going to have the great hands, but he's still an asset to the team.
Yeah.
A tool in the toolbox, if you will. I mean, he's going to be utilized either way. In the rounds, he's still going to get opportunities to catch the ball. It's just, I think DPJ, if you're looking at anybody on this depth chart, the wide receiver room, if he's taking anybody's time, I'm looking at J-Mo. Because I look at DPJ, he's a deep ball guy. He's
the worst
same
thing
type of skill
possible
set.
for J-Mo would be DPJ to get like a deep ball touchdown against the Chargers.
It would be awful. It would be awful. Do you
For
think
him. For J-Mo.
Yes, for J-Mo, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It was amazing for the Detroit Lions.
It'd be great for the Detroit Lions, for sure.
I'm not complaining at all. I guess I do have to ask this because somebody mentioned Khalif Raymond. Do you see his snaps dwindling down with DPJ in there? And I not really.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Khalif Raymond.
They love Khalif.
They love Khalif. He's a great player. He can do a lot of different things. So I don't think they're going to take snaps away from him.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Michael Mike hopping in. He asked another question too. Khalif was the topic. How about Josh Reynolds? I saw some comments about Josh Reynolds losing some PT due to DPJ. A lot of acronyms.
No, I think Josh Reynolds is going to keep his PT even with DPJ and J-Mo. Like, he's going to like,
say that 10 times fast.
Josh Reynolds, he might have a UTI or something, but he'll still go out there and BALL. Like, Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff have an insane amount of chemistry. We forget Josh Reynolds catches a first down every time he catches the ball. Like, he's still going to get his playing time. He's a weapon.
Yeah, I think they love Khalif Raymond. And they love Josh Reynolds, too. I think Josh Reynolds, he had the fumble last game, and he only had the one catch. He did get the one call for the pass interference.
Little
but
Michael.
if you look at Josh Reynolds, like, his numbers up until Jamar Chase went off last week was on par with Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And I get that he was off to a slow start, but that's still Jamar friggin' Chase. Like, Josh Reynolds has been phenomenal and huge for this team, especially in the absence of Amon-Ra St. Brown in moments. So I think guys like him, guys like Khalif, you saw Dan Campbell cry during the primetime interview on Monday Night Football about the guys who were there in 2021 leading to this moment. Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds were all part of that. They went through that losing struggle to the winning team now, and I think they're going to be rewarded for it because, to be honest with you, I don't think they deserve less playing time. I think they've done great for what they've been asked to do.
I agree, and let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come into Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. J-Mo, better shape
Since
up.
the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way.
Hell yeah.
The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
McPull.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports.
Woodward and Main's my favorite show. Hey, I'm Kirby Joseph, and I watch Woodward and Main. Hey, I'm Peyton Hudson, and I love Gabriel D. Phillips and Matt Broder Tuesdays. And don't forget Terry Foster on Sundays, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and stuff. Look at guys we did. Yeah, look at my shirt.
Heck yeah, let's party, boys. Yeah, tear this bitch down. Woohoo!
I farted.
Oh, man. J-Mo, better shape up.
The beat challenges.
Sorry, guys, that's my digital therapy.
Dude, I gotta take a poop, man. Come back to 5 iron. 5 iron. 5 iron. 5 iron golf.
5 iron.
Downtown's newest sports bar's got 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Did I mention it's a sports bar? That means you catch the games there too. They also got 5 iron golf leagues where you can win a trip to the Dominican. Visit 5irongolfleague.com to tee up good times. That's 5irongolf.com.
Tee 'em up.
First time. Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WorldSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by guys Spin More Rax, Young Chris. Coming up next in the sound booth, we have the legend, Stick. Shout out to Stick for hopping in,
Stick.
filling in, man. Last minute, appreciate you, man.
Shout out, brother.
Like button. L's in the chat for Lucas. Shout out. Moving on to the next topic.
What a fraud of a commissioner.
So we spoke about addition to the team that wasn't previously there and how it's going to affect the rest of that wide receiver room. Now this is a addition made in the offseason, but didn't really show up until just now, I'd say. Some might say. And that's Jahmyr Gibbs. Having, if I may, I don't even care how creative it sounds, Barry Sanders-esque highlights on the field.
It was an amazing game.
20-yard runs with broken tackles included. I mean, he looked phenomenal out there. But we have another guy we fell in love with beforehand, too. David Montgomery. It's a little bit of a running back love triangle. What do you expect the running back splits to be with this new and improved Jahmyr Gibbs?
I liked what you said earlier about yesterday, about like Jahmyr Gibbs seems like a guy that needs to kind of get his rhythm to get going and stuff like that. So maybe Jahmyr Gibbs gets the bulk of the carries. But one thing that the Lions failed to do in that Raiders game is to punch it in and convert when they're in the red zone. That's where David Montgomery is going to help you. That's where David Montgomery is going to go out there. He's going to be your hammer. He is going to be your jackhammer, just punching it in there. So you need him for that. I think we see a similar kind of thing that what they did with Swift and Jamal Williams last year, to where you've got your lightning and thunder, you've got your Kamara and Ingram, you've got these kind of guys that you can go out there, two different styles of runners, two guys that can both run the ball and catch the ball very well. So you can use both of them in different ways.
That's the other thing too, is to discount Dave Montgomery. I mean, you can't. You can't. I'm not even going to finish that sentence. You can't discount Dave Montgomery, what he's done, because he's also caught the ball too. He's been well in screen plays and his intermediate routes that he's had. I think Dave Montgomery's been phenomenal. Obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs is a lot better at those Texas slants and stuff like that. So I think between the 20s, you're going to see a little bit more of a split on third downs. I'm assuming it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, especially if he's got a third and long. I haven't really kept a keen eye on how he's doing in blocking assignments. Maybe that's something to keep your eye on too. The other crazy part with Jahmyr Gibbs is do you remember when Austin Eckler, because he's a big fantasy football guy, he kind of spoke on the Jahmyr Gibbs stuff when people were being pissed off about him not playing, and he was like, look, there's certain things that David does that Jahmyr's going to learn how to do. Dan Orlowski broke it down.
Attacking half the man, different things like that. I think we saw Jahmyr do a lot of that in the game against the Raiders, where he was making these cuts. He was cutting off of one guy. He was slipping through these small holes in the line and making things happen. So, like I said, I expect them to ride Gibbs, but David Montgomery is a weapon that they're going to use as well.
Yeah. I think, so between the 20s, definitely a little bit more of a split. Third down, obviously, I'm thinking Jahmyr Gibbs, especially if it's like a third and long situation. When it comes to that red zone,
that's Monty time.
Yeah.
That's Monty season.
I'm bringing my battering ram.
Yeah.
All due respect to Jahmyr Gibbs, who earned an Angry Run T-shirt. I think he might have won the Scepter, he calls it, Kyle Brandt. You guys check that out on his Twitter feed. But obviously, I'm not disrespecting him and his ability to put his shoulder down to gain extra yards. What? What are you saying?
What'd you say, Chris?
How many times a guy teach you this lesson, old man?
What? Oh, Mass?
No, this is some old dude walking by.
Come on, Chris. We're in the middle of a show.
I'm sorry.
Hold it in. You're a freaky fetish for old men.
That's Parker.
Definitely not it. Yeah.
In between the 20s, though, in between 20s split, obviously in the red zone, that's Dave Montgomery time.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, too, with David going out with 2 injuries in a row like this in the middle of the season, I get the first one was kind of freakish, but all injuries kind of are. You can't really predict those things. I like the fact that Jahmyr's kind of inserting himself into the backfield or getting more carries because it keeps both of them more fresh. Obviously, you saw when David first came back from the bruised thigh against the Packers, it was like 30-plus carries he had.
Yeah.
Listen, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. He was going stupid, but it'd be nice to preserve him a little bit. I mean, both guys, really. Give me a split. I have no beef with that at all whatsoever.
No, they're going to split carries. You have two dynamic backs. You have two guys that can make a lot of things and have shown this season that they can do a lot of stuff in this offense. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's a good problem to have when you have two guys that can go out there and you feel comfortable with either of them in any situation. So I'm not worried about it. I think they're going to go out there. They're going to find the right split. They're going to find the right way to use both of these guys, and they're going to make some things happen.
Chris, Stick, do you guys want to hop in on this one at all?
Stick? Very insightful.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Well said.
That's a pretty hot take, man.
Chris?
As far as the splitting of the backs, like how it'll work,
Yeah, how you think they're going to use both of them?
I think it's going to be no problem at all because I think that they have similar overlapping skills in some aspects. That they're both good at catching the ball in the backfield, and I think that that's obviously something that can easily overlap. It's not like they're both power runners or they're both running outside the tackles. One is inside the tackles at his strength, one is outside. So I don't see this as a problem. If anything, like Spencer said, it's a good problem to have. So to me, there was a reason why at the beginning of the season people were talking, could this be like the best duo in the league for fantasy wise and all of that?
Yeah.
Because they complement each other so well, and because again, this Ben Johnson offense is an ecosystem. It's not just one thing. So there's plenty of ways to eat, and you've seen this Lions team feast with all sorts of running backs last year. So this is not an issue at all. This is not an issue at all, man.
I think another thing too is like obviously yesterday we wanted that defensive end, and again we're over it. Just bring it up again. Don't mind me here. But with Dan Campbell or Brad, I don't remember which one it was, saying that they needed the depth at the wide receiver positions. Like you kind of sold us on Jahmyr Gibbs as this weapon who can catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So like you had that. It's another reason I think to believe that DPJ is more than just like that depth piece. I think he's going to actually get some action within this offense. But there's times where now I think we're going to see both those guys in the field too.
And who knows the extent of Khalil Dorsey's injury? He went down in that game, so. DPJ is also a very skilled returner.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to get some run there, but
Jamal pretty good returner too.
Yeah.
I mean, I like both those guys really.
Maybe that's another role that opens up for J-Mo now that you've added some depth in the wide receiver room.
Who would you rather?
DPJ.
DPJ?
Yeah.
Just because like what Jamal's more valuable at the.
Mm-hmm. And he's an investment. DPJ's
yeah, that's fair.
done at the end of this year.
Oh, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Oh. Might resign though.
Could be.
I see DPJ resigning. We're winning games. He's obviously Detroit native.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love that we have another like native guy too. I mean, the same way you're seeing DeAndre Swift kind of like outperform his expectations, which really, I don't think he is. I think he's doing what he's done. He's just staying healthy.
Yeah, it's just durability.
But he's outperforming his expectations over there in Philly for his hometown. Maybe get the same out of DPJ. But as far as the backfield goes, like I put the poll up in the Woodward Sports chat, 67% still think it's gonna be Monty get majority of the carries. Which I mean,
I'm not mad at.
Yeah, I could see that too.
He's the veteran. He's the elder statesman. The team looked pretty damn good when he was getting a lot of the carries, a majority of the carries earlier in the season. So yeah, I'm not mad at that. But like Walter Briggs said in the Woodward Sports chat, he says, nice to have the opposing teams have the game plan for both dudes. Like, yeah, now they don't know. Back earlier in the season when Gibbs came in, you're like, all right, they're probably throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've seen his ability to run the ball, do multiple things, so you can do a lot with both of them in there, and it keeps the defense on their toes.
Yeah, and I get like every reason you would put David Montgomery over Jahmyr Gibbs and like the expectation of who you think is going to get majority of those carries, but don't be so surprised if it is Jahmyr. As much as I love David Montgomery, I've been trying to get him in fantasy the entire year. I think that Jahmyr is going to give you more of those explosive plays. Like I don't know. I mean, if you want, can you pull up David Montgomery's stats? I just want to know how many like 20-yard runs he's broken off this year versus the amount of big-time runs we saw out of Jahmyr against that Raiders team. Like I think Jahmyr is more likely to give you those moments versus like the consistency of David, and maybe that's something that Ben Johnson's looking forward to because that changes the way the offense plays against you. Like, yeah, he can knock you down 5-6 consistent times, but if Jahmyr's not even a 20-yard run, like a little 15-yard scamper or something like that, that's enough to piss off a defensive coordinator or a head coach. You'd be like, grab that defensive coordinator and be like, what the f is going on? Mm-hmm. You need to fix that right now. It's embarrassing, especially following an actual real-life situation where a head coach and GM got fired following the game against Jahmyr Gibbs and this Detroit Lions team. So I could also see Jahmyr Gibbs getting the bulk of those carries and David getting where it's like more suiting for him.
Yeah.
Short yard situations, 5 yards to go, stuff like that. Third downs, catching situations. I mean, that's Jahmyr all day. You got David's right there?
I don't know where to find it.
Yeah, I thought that would be easy to find here too because I can't find Jahmyr's either. Actually, let me look on the season. Nope, don't got him.
No, I want to ask a question. I know the answer, especially coming from Spencer, because I know that Goff had Todd Gurley when he was with the Rams and doing well, and Todd Gurley was one of the best, if not the best, in his prime running back we've seen. So, with that being said, is the versatility that Gibbs and Montgomery offer, and also where Goff is at in his career, we've talked about him being in his prime and better. Does all of that lead to a combination of I would want to say better run game, but than he had in LA? But is it kind of in some sense better because of the versatility, because of Goff's development? And
I think the offensive line is better,
and the offensive line too.
Todd
that's
Gurley
part
in
of
his
it.
prime was really doing it all.
Right.
He wasn't like the greatest pass catcher, but what Todd Gurley stacked defensive boxes all day because he was just elite. I mean, he was he first round? or was he second round?
I think he was first round.
Either way, Todd Gurley was him. It's tough to compare like the duo,
right? Versus
but
just one elite entity.
Run game wise, and you look at this offensive line combined with these two backs that can, give you damage.
Yeah,
maybe.
There's a lot of different things you can do, and we talked about the Jared Goff when he has a play action game going. That is when he is at his strength. That's when he's at his highest. So it's definitely going to help now that you have two backs that can do damage, two backs that can do multiple things. We talked about the offensive line yesterday and Hank Fraley and how that offensive line was down 3 starters, and they still went out there and made the Raiders submit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What run game would you rather have? Because I know you're a little bit more biased towards your Todd Gurley love for the fantasy championships he's won you, and obviously you're a Detroit Lions fan.
Well, I mean, if Todd Gurley was on this line, prime Todd Gurley on this Lions team, he'd rush for 2,000 yards.
Yeah. With this fair. Line, yeah.
Well, I'm saying like that Los Angeles line and Todd Gurley versus this Lions
Probably
line.
this Lions one.
Yeah.
Like you said, the offensive line's better. You can do multiple different things, and you have two backs that are doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to diminish Todd Gurley at all on that question, Chris. It's just this line had Jamal Williams breaking Barry Sanders records.
It's not that. It's just at the end of the day, we talked about last year. Is this the best offense Goff ever had? Like these kind of questions, because we're constantly the question keeps coming back to can you win with Goff or not? And each side has their camp, so I like to bring up these facets of it. Obviously Todd Gurley alone is the singular greatest unit of all of the factors here. But again, that's one thing versus the totality of the great offensive line. Montgomery being awesome, and again Gibbs being able to do a lot of different and unique things. Goff's development in play action only getting better through the years. Like. All of that factoring against Todd Gurley. So it's not to disrespect Todd Gurley in any way. It's actually praise for Todd Gurley that one man could even make that a conversation, that just one man alone could make that conversation versus all that Goff has to work with now in the run game.
Primetime Gurley was elite.
Yeah,
there's no denying that.
In 2017, he had 2,093 total yards and 19 touchdowns. He's second in MVP voting. He's Offensive Player of the Year. First team All-Pro.
Wow, it's Chris looking weirder and weirder with his beard.
Your beard is weird.
Don't worry, guys. We got our paychecks Friday. That thing's getting trimmed up.
Yes, I am.
But let me tell you guys where to find the best meat in the state. That's Fairway Packing Company. Even if you're out of state, you can get your best meat at fairwaypacking.com. Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, and casinos go through Fairway, and you should too. Give them a call, 313-332-5114, or visit them in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently
to the break of dawn.
Like
got going on.
Online, order some Syntron and find her group. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the
look at this Syntron.
100K Vegas giveaway.
That's awesome.
Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer
what'd you
location,
find? Oh,
or
Syntron.
visit
Let's get married.
drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter the 100K Vegas giveaway.
All right.
Woodward Sports Zone Tom Mazaway and Slim Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate, and you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we're the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Okay. Now, how would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas trip? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. You can enter now at drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. It's Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste for the people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best versions of themselves. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas.
Check it out.
Rip.
Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy Joe, my guy Spin More Rax.
What up,
Young Chris, we finally have the return of Corey Woods in the sound booth.
Shout out
to Corey, filling in on the ones and twos. Appreciate you, man. Hit that like button if you guys haven't already. Matter of fact,
his name was John Cena.
All right, that's who's in the booth for the rest of the show, John Cena. Because you can't see him. You need the like buttons up, though, guys. It's almost an hour into the show. We're sitting here at 65. What am I, some cheap whore? Some cheap whore?
Do one of the polls.
Yeah. I'll pause. All right, I'm just not even responding to that one. All right, so in a couple ways we take this thing. Obviously, we're kind of on a heat of the Lions topics. You want to switch up to some college football, or would you like to talk about the Detroit Lions pass rush?
I'd like to talk about the Detroit Lions pass rush.
You want to talk about the Detroit Lions pass rush? Let's do this one. No, let's do it. Let's do one beforehand, actually.
Okay.
Because we were complaining about not getting that Chase Young piece, that extra edge piece that we wanted outside of Aiden Hutchinson, so he can do what he's got to do and have more single matchups, or maybe just give another guy who has elite talent or the possibility of having elite talent those one-on-one matchups. But we had that.
Yeah.
We had that in James Houston.
We did.
I had to be real about that. And there's rumors that he may be back as soon as December.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as December.
Still a month away, brother.
Dude, Thanksgiving is like this month already. It's kind of crazy.
I love things. Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes.
Overrated.
Turkey's way overrated.
Way overrated.
But
honey baked ham.
James Houston.
Ham life.
Is he overrated? Did we underrate his abilities and expectations for when he comes back?
I don't know. We'll see what happens when James Houston comes back. You know, hopefully it's as soon as December starts. Hopefully it's right there and he's ready to go. Hopefully it's before that. But we still don't know an actual date or an actual time of when James Houston will be able to get in here and start making some things happen. Obviously, he is a weapon to have out there, but he himself still isn't a complete defensive end. Like he is not a complete piece. He struggles in the run game, and so we'll see what happens, but it'll definitely be a boost to the Lions when he does come back this year. Hopefully he comes back this year, and he will definitely take some of that pressure off of Aiden Hutchinson and be able to use his ability to get to the passer in a very, very timely fashion. It's when the Lions are going to hopefully him and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson come back for the playoff push, for different things like that, but I don't know, man. I'm still nervous.
Yeah, I think James was real, and I feel like I got a little bit of confirmation of that. And I get it's preseason, but the last preseason game against the Carolina Panthers, James was back there. Like James was getting dirty, and I don't know if he's a guy you necessarily want to double team, but I know he'll be single blocked every single time that Aiden Hutchinson is out there. And thank God Aiden Hutchinson is such a go hard and a beast, phenomenal talent that he's doubled every single play. Matter of fact, did you catch the block on him? He got blocked for sure. And I don't know if there's an offensive scheme or just happened to be that way, but Aiden's going to see a lot of double teams, and that's one of the reasons we wanted somebody who could for sure beat a single matchup off the edge against these opposing quarterbacks, because we've seen this Baltimore Ravens team go down to the likes of a Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though some people look at Pittsburgh a lot lesser than Detroit Lions, they have two elite edge rushers to help them get the job done. I'm even looking at I get the KC Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, and I would not deny the fact that he kind of carried them to that Super Bowl, but Chris Jones is a big part of it. Obviously, once he was inserted into this defensive lineup for this Kansas City Chiefs, they're way better with Chris Jones than they ever were without. Mm-hmm. It's not even like an arguable. I mean, that's a guy who moves all around too, and he creates separate one-on-one matchups for guys like Frank Clark that people have or higher up on. But obviously, he kind of struggled to find a job there for a minute too. But I think James can bring it to you. I think one of the reasons I like the prospect of Chase Young or Montez, I think those are also guys that have the capabilities of moving around. But now that I even say that out loud, James moves around too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that Sam position is, that's where Jack Campbell got moved to because of his versatility to drop back into coverage as well as rush the passer. Versatility. Yeah. And so I guess maybe I did overlook that. Because look at the Detroit Lions pass rush. I know we have that as its own separate topic, but they kind of go hand in hand, so maybe I'll mesh them here. But they aren't far off from the elite edge rushing teams of the league. I mean, the Steelers, the name I mentioned, I think, in my personal opinion, probably the best in terms of pairing. We're only one sack off of them.
Yeah.
They got 23. We're sitting at 22. The league lead is the Ravens. Now, they got the two-man game going, but they also have an interior guy, which is the main focus I wanted, Jalen Carter, and Justin Mudabuke. And then they have Jadeveon Clowney on the side. Plus, they're blitzing from all over, though, too. Mm-hmm. All those sacks aren't coming from the interior, but I think James would bring us something. And I have this question, though. being that they're 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll find out what place they are, but they're in the same elk of the Steelers. Do you believe the Lions pass rush moving forward?
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously they look good against the Raiders, but the Raiders have a very shit offensive line, and they have Jimmy Garoppolo as their starter, who is a complete statue back there. We saw against Geno Smith, they weren't able to get to him except for the one sack from Alex Anzalone. They weren't able to get him down. We saw against Lamar Jackson, they weren't able to get to him. They weren't able to get him down. So when you play some of these elite quarterbacks that can move around in the pocket and make things happen, it's definitely harder, and it's definitely easier if you have more elite pass rushers on top of what you already have. So we'll see. I mean, they have shown out. Like the game against Carolina, they had a lot of sacks. But again, it's a rookie quarterback, a subpar offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at teams that have more team sacks than I'm looking at the Cowboys, the Buccaneers. I like the Packers' defensive line. How about this? The Browns. They have more sacks than the Browns right now. But I kind of identify with you as like, I'm Spencer Morgan Raxter. Come see me, bitch. I'm playing. I identify with you as like the teams the Detroit Lions have beat. We talked about it yesterday. Those 5 questionable quarterbacks.
Yeah,
a lot of guys that don't respect that as much, and some guys just coming along. Their journeys in the league are still very young in their careers.
How many times did they sack Baker?
How many times? I think they sacked Baker once, and maybe not even none. If I'm being honest with you,
I'm about to look that up.
He's kind of like
a good offensive line. He's an elusive-ish quarterback.
Yeah, I think they may have pressured him a few times. Sometimes again too, like the sack it's a little bit overrated. I've heard guys like Neil Rule say that it's the new turnover. That's absolutely absurd. Nothing's more beneficial to a team than causing a turnover. Yeah, literally taking away the ball and the score.
They sacked Baker once.
Yeah, I think they sacked them once. Obviously, I don't think they sacked Lamar not a single time.
No, they sacked Geno once.
You look at the quarterbacks who are getting these sacks on. They're not shit.
They're not guys that move around in the like. Again, it's so who are you looking at when you talk about, obviously, like I said yesterday, I still think they're going to win a playoff game. I think they're going to win the division. Hopefully, well, it depends. If they get to 1 seed, they might have to skip that first playoff game and play somebody tough in the second round. But when you get into those teams, the meat and potatoes of the NFC, teams you're going to have to be facing if you want to get to that NFC championship game, you're looking at the Cowboys, you're looking at the Seahawks, the Niners, the Eagles. Those are all good offensive lines. Those are all quarterbacks who move around well in the pocket and are mobile quarterbacks. So that is what the Lions have struggled to deal with those guys so far this year. They've struggled to get those guys on the ground so far this year, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Kevin Garnett, anything is possible.
I mean, the biggest example of that, actually, you make a phenomenal point. I mean, the Seahawks game.
Yeah.
They had, I think it was two backup
tackles.
Yeah, they both tackles in that game. And this is like not even a thing.
And their center went out.
This goes back to last year against the Seattle Seahawks too, when we faced them as rookie tackles, like the original stars as tackles. We weren't able to touch Geno Smith until the very end of the game, and that came off the Anzalone was just making a play because Geno was kind of scrambling around there looking like an idiot. That's now that I'm thinking about that out loud, yeah, that does concern me a little bit more, a lot more, to be honest with you. And obviously, we were speaking about this one 2 minutes ago, but Broderick Martin, he's now inserted into this offensive or defensive line, coming off a 6-sack performance with him as a part of that too. Do you think he could be that difference maker? Because when I spoke on the Ravens team, I talked about Justin Matabuke in the middle.
Matabuke.
And Vince Wilfork was once upon a time in the middle of a TJ Watt.
Yeah. Maybe Broderick Martin can be that guy. He is going to be a guy that commands double teams just because of his girth and tonnage, as Skip Bayless would say.
Yeah.
But I think Ali McNeil is obviously a guy who's been playing extremely well this year. He's going to have to keep rolling on that. And James Houston coming back, man. That's hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I saw a couple comments on Woodward Sports Chat too about Josh Pascal, and that's I'll claim him as a home. We follow each other on Instagram, watch other stories and stuff like that. I think when I look at Josh Pascal, obviously like any defensive lineman has the capability of getting to a quarterback. And I think Aleem finally showcased a little bit of his pass rush moves against that Raiders team, but a god awful Raiders team. But he's more of a guy I'm looking to set the edge or just cement this gap. He's more of just cerebral all around football player versus specifically go get the quarterback guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I hope that's not taken as a slight at all, because I love Josh Pesco. I've loved him ever since we drafted him, and I just found out his story coming back from cancer, becoming the team captain, just returning and doing the numbers he did.
Friends with my cousin.
At Kentucky. Hey, hell yeah, he is at Kentucky, which is in the SEC. And Kentucky's not like that type of team, but he was still putting up those kind of numbers to be drafted by a Brad Holmes in the second round. John Kaminsky, but those are both, again, him and Pascal. Sometimes you see those guys in the interior they're not really like an edge rusher per se. They're just a defensive end.
I think Broderick Martin can do a lot to help Ali McNeil, because Ali McNeil's already got 4 sacks this season. He's proven that he can do a lot of things. And if you put big body Brod next to him, that's going to command a double team just off of the sheer girth and size of that man. He's going to have 2 people on him. So you could see Ali McNeil getting these one-on-one matchups, and I think he'll be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, you know what? When we get back, let's talk about that. Broderick Martin obviously made his league debut against the Oakland. Jeez. Las Vegas Raiders. I'm 30, guys. You got to forgive me.
Yeah, it's true.
I grew up when they was in Oakland.
Redskins.
But, oh, my gosh. First, we got to tell you guys about Hamlin Pub.
Have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. They've got half-off pizza on Tuesdays. They've got multiple deals for all Detroit sports and all football games, so make sure you come in there and experience some of their great food in a great atmosphere and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports. Be treated like a regular, because everyone's a regular at Hamlin Pub.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Check it out.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions.
Those are my drugs.
Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system.
I'm just making shit.
Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new cousins. The dog days in Detroit are over. Guys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weekend
Bullseye.
at 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Bullseye.
BullseyeEventGroup.com is where you guys need to go right now if you want to party with the heavies and the rest of Woodward Sports in preparation for the Detroit Lions home games. They're down in Eastern Market at shed number 5. Get your tickets today at BullseyeEventGroup.com, or if you want an opportunity to get some for free, visit Woodward Sports, IG, and DM Lions VIP. What up? Welcome back to Woodward Waits Live, WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy, joined by my guy Spin More Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris. We got John Cena on the sound booth. Shout out to him for filling in for our guy JB Smooth. Before we went to break, we're kind of just discussing where we overlooking the Detroit Lions pass rush. And when we spoke about it, we kind of broke down to when are we getting these sacks? Because obviously they're ranking ahead of the Cowboys. They're ranking ahead of the Browns. But then we noticed it's against these bad quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from our special guest in the sound booth. And his name was John Cena.
John Cena.
The time's up. The time's now. No, okay, yeah, but 100%.
Did you get out of your system?
Yeah.
Broderick Martin.
No.
We spoke about having a 6-sack performance. No Isaiah Buggs, but Broderick Martin was present in that one. What did you make of his season debut? Did he give you what you wanted? Everything you've been waiting for, I guess, since he's been drafted. I mean, 3rd-round pick. Guy was inactive the first 7 weeks.
Yeah, it's 100% again. I think this guy, like I said, I think he can make a difference just off of the massive of person he is, the mass of his ass. Like, you put him in there,
the mass of his ass.
The man is going to require a double team. He's so big, he's going to require 2 people to block him. Because I was watching him, I paid attention. Like, I was like, I'm going to focus on Broderick Martin when he's on the field, and he was moving people around. Like I said, he got beat on a couple cutbacks from Josh Jacobs, but like when you're 6'5", 380 pounds, shit's going to happen. You're not going to be able to move as fast and cut back as fast as one of these running backs in the league. I expect him to go out there. I expect him to be a man, to command double teams, to move people around, to help in the run game, but also, like I said, to free up Aleem McNeil on passing downs. He is going to be seeing double teams, because if not, he is going to take that guard or that center or whoever, if you're trying to one-on-one block Broderick Martin, and push him into the quarterback's lap. That is what's going to happen. And that is what leads to a lot of sacks. Is the quarterback gets the guard or a center pushed on top of them, they got to spin out right into the arms of an edge rusher. So hopefully Broderick Martin can continue and build on what he did in his first game, in his first start in the NFL, because I liked what I saw out of him.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking up like just his name to see if there's any like breakdowns from Baldy, anything like that. I know he had the one in preseason, which I was fond of. Obviously, he just kind of talked about him having that wide ass, and we had the Coach JB on too. It kind of broke down and was like, the guys, coaches love to see fat asses, and it's for that reason that Broderick Martin's supposed to be bringing to this team. Terry, I mean myself too, and we are the Woodward heavyweights. We know what it is like to be in those trenches. You want a guy who can eat some double teams, so your little finesse guys or your edge rushing guys can get those one-on-one matchups and beat those one-on-one matchups and get to the quarterback. I really don't have a great takeaway from his debut, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, obviously, I saw him out there commanding those double teams just because you have to.
Yeah.
Like you said, for his sheer presence. But I don't know if he... That's just all it is at times. There's not too much to take away in those moments, because the guy making the play is the one on those one-on-one blocking assignments and going off of them. I just hope he can continue to develop. I hope he's obviously developed enough for them to want to put him on the field. Maybe they saw the Raiders as such a piss-poor organization. That's the opportunity they were going to give him to go out there. But, I mean, I was definitely happy when I'll put it this way. I was just happy to have him on the field. Mm-hmm. I look back at the Aleem McNeil sack. He wasn't there for that one, so I don't want to give Broderick too much credit for stuff like that. But I want to see him do a little bit better in the run game. I will say that. I know he got his first career tackle against Josh Jacobs. Kudos to Broder for that stat. I saw there floating around on Twitter. But the main thing is the main thing with those big guys. You just really want to meet up double teams. Like, for the naked eye or casual fan, like, you may watch him or look at his numbers and be like, oh, he didn't really do shit. Rah, 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 rah.
They're not going to get the love. Those big uglies in the middle are not going to get the love. They're not going to get the stats. They're not going to get the accolades and different things like that most of the time. But they serve an important role. They serve an important purpose in that defense. And like you said, commanding double teams, getting more dudes on them, filling up those gaps is a big, big part of it. Because that frees up the linebackers. That frees up your Alex Anzalonis, your Jack Campbells, your Derek Barnes to roam around and make plays. Because if Broderick Martin is clogging the A and B gap on one side, more than likely they're going to run to the other side. So you can kind of cheat a little bit. So I expect him to get more and more playing time as the season goes on, because I liked what I saw personally.
They're still going in about the wide receiver thing. Why are we still talking about acquiring? Oh, they want Jim to hang around Brandon Cooks. That's what I'm taking.
Wait, what?
Taking it as. They're still talking about the Jameson Williams stuff. Being like D-Hop takes a lot, though. I don't know. They're talking about wide receivers. We're talking about big fat man, Broderick Martin. Chris?
Going from Martin and Bugs, like, that's been a thing all year where they've been interchangeable. Like, why is that a thing? Like, why is it that, you can't just use Bugs? We talked about all offseason as you signed him at good value. He's a good depth piece. He can start if needed to and be solid, but he also could be a very serviceable backup. So I don't see why it's been either or with them all year. I mean, do you guys have really any idea what's the reason? Is it just numbers of a roster? They want to have depth elsewhere? I don't get it. I don't get why these two have been inactive, or they've never been active together at the same time.
Chris, I'm so sorry.
It's no. 100%. I mean, these two guys do serve a similar purpose, like Bugs and Broderick. So I don't know why. Like we said, I don't know why he was a healthy scratch if Levi was out anyways. I think they had the room to play both of them. They had the ability to play both of them, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't like kind of just, we'll give him a week off. We'll give him a week off and moving him in like that, because I do want to see some consistency. I want to see him get some playing time. I think they'll be able to do it.
Yeah. We do not have a sound person, guys. The hot mics are somewhat intentional. Sometimes it is what goes on.
Now Danny G is in the chat trolling, and he's now like during our segments, he's saying, "Guys, the mic is on, just so you know."
Yeah.
Like, instead
I saw someone said, "Wake up, Chris." That's what made me speak up. Don't rag. Chris is in charge of changing the cameras.
Yeah, Chris can't do anything about that.
Watch this.
He can't do anything about the microphones. We're just free flowing to the commercials. Watch this.
That was me.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like. I mean, now looking at it that way, I might like that they have a week off here and there. But defensive linemen, I feel like it's crazy to say it, but they kind of stay healthy for the most part. I feel like you don't see too many, especially those bigger body guys. Like you don't really see. Knock on wood, we don't see too many crazy injuries towards them. Injuries seem to happen a lot with this offensive line, but our defensive line, interior guys, they seem pretty healthy for the most part, all the time.
And Trum says, I think Buggs was a trade candidate when they didn't pull it off.
That's possible. That is possible. There are trade candidates though who played on Sunday. You know, you look at the Washington Commanders. Obviously, they traded both their edge rushers. They both played against the Eagles.
Adis 411 says Trailblazers are staying in Birmingham. Yeah, we saw him. We saw him pull by before the show started.
By the way, no Jalen Duren tonight. I wonder, am I going to get my money back from FanDuel on those? They're going to gray out the
I think
parlays, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And
that sucks. Sucks. Those odds are going to go down, though. Chris, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, when it comes to Buggs versus Martin, like I get it. You want to develop and push Martin, but Buggs has been so essential, like for the number one run defense. Like when the Lions had that stretch where they were just absolutely dominating, it was when Buggs came back. So for me, it's almost if it has to be one or the other. Because I'm with you, Spencer. I feel like eventually it won't be. But if it has to be, like, I'm sorry, I'm just not taking that risk. I'm not taking away this defense's biggest strength when we've seen what we had sawed was that this defense has holes and flaws, and you know, as good as it is, it does have its flaws. So I think it would just be stupid to take that chance. I would just keep pushing Buggs, right? Like I don't get it.
We see this offense go out there against good running backs.
I seen it.
I seen it.
I saw it.
I saw it. We saw this offense go out there against good running backs and shut them down with Isaiah Buggs. So maybe it was Isaiah Buggs was in trade talks, so they pulled him out, but it didn't go through, so he's still on the team. That's a possibility. That's a very realistic possibility, but maybe they were just trying to give Broderick Martin some love. Maybe they favor Broderick Martin to Isaiah Buggs. 'Cause remember, Buggs didn't start the season. He was a healthy scratch for the first couple games of the year as well. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's dealing with that situation, but yeah, Benito Jones has been playing well too. Obviously, Aleem's been playing really well, so we'll see what happens.
One thing I wanted to point out, a couple comments I see about Science Sue, my guy Tim. Tim, by the way, where were you on the interception props? I'm just kidding. My FanDuel's cashed out. I'm all on DraftKings right now. But Tim keeps commenting. He wants to sign Sue. I just want to address that. Ndamukong Suh, I'm a sim for Ndamukong Suh. It's one of my favorite players of all time. Him, Richard Sherman, and Terrell Owens. Those are like my three like goats. Random as they may be, although T.O. is fair. Everyone's kind of goat, right? He's up there.
Yeah.
But I think what Sue specifically is waiting for is like that postseason run, the same way you saw with Eric Weddle for the Rams. Like he's at that point where he could just kind of come in and give you what you need out of him versus like taking the abuse on his body all year long for what's ultimately at the end of the day like one of those shittier veteran contracts. And if we know anything about Sue, we know he's about his money. Just as he's good off the field, he's good on the field when it comes to getting paper. He's like good friends with the guy from Nebraska. The I don't know why I can't think of his name. I love him too. Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Sue's about his bread. So I think he's kind of just like have that risk versus reward. What?
I don't think it's Warren Buffett.
It is Warren Buffett. Well, no. Is that the guy that died?
No, Warren Buffett's the rich dude.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Oh, okay.
He went to Nebraska. So
really?
Yeah, and Sue went to Nebraska. Well, he lives in Nebraska. Oh. You know, Warren Buffett still lives in like the first home he ever purchased, despite being like as rich as he is. Fun fact. But I'm down to sign Sue. Don't get me wrong. Ooh, Antrim, if that's how you say it. Mentioned Desmond King is better than Will Harris, Detroit native too.
We talked about that when he first got cut.
Sign him.
We talked about that when he first got cut because a
lot of people think I was just mad about just not getting Chase Young, which I was. I was mad to see him go to a contender and a contender make a move for him. I was more pissed that we didn't address that secondary depth. I'm sorry, Spinny. That just got me going.
Yeah, I agree with you. When he first got cut, man, that is somebody that we talked about bringing in because they talked about this receiving core being one injury away from something happened. Well, so is the defensive backfield, especially the outside where Jerry Jacobs rolled ankle away from seeing Will Harris out there again. You know, and Pray to God it doesn't happen. Pray to God we don't have to see that out there. But I don't know about Stephen Gilmore.
Yeah.
Like, I know he was injured for the last game and he wasn't out there, but I'd much rather see Desmond King than Will Harris. That's for sure.
All day, yeah. And to defend my Sue fandom from Steve Wiles and Word Sports Chat, says Sue rejected Detroit, but fans love him at 40 and think he can contribute. One, he just played on a team that was in the Super Bowl and started on that team that was in the Super Bowl last year with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Hassan Reddick had a hell of a year with Dominic Sue in that lineup. Just putting that out there. Two, I can't be mad at Sue for getting his money. You telling me?
What?
I can make more money. By the way, because Mayhew didn't offer him the max amount of money. It was Miami who offered him the biggest deal of any defensive player in all time. He took that in a tax-free state in Miami.
Yeah.
With the mommies.
Yes.
I am not mad at Sue for taking that deal.
Neither am I.
I am not. But tell us about Planet Fitness.
Let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work out on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, and there are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands throughout the world. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, this is
Robert Quinn would be dope too.
Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren.
But he's still
I want
pretty
to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
When I was like, when I was rapping. Oh.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Check it out.
Check it out. Rip.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites.
Chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations. Over 60 brands of food. Lowest prices and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Check it out.
Check it out.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy. That's Spinmo Rax, Young Chris, John Cena!
Time's up. The time is now.
Smash that like button. Jalen Duren out tonight. Detroit Pistons playing the Trailblazers. I know it's not on the prep sheet, but is there anything you guys want to speak on that matchup before we let it get going?
No, Scoot Henderson has played like dog shit so far to start the season. Oscar Thompson is going to put him in a bread box.
Oh, yeah. I saw a comment. Luigi,
triple-double.
I think the name was, said Oscar Thompson, triple-double alert.
I wish I would have locked those odds.
I don't hate it. I might put $1 on that one for sure.
With Jalen Duren out,
yeah.
I wouldn't hate that play either. I'm excited to watch the Pistons, man. Oscar Thompson has been great.
Dude, he's phenomenal. I mean, it's so nice in the first place to be excited to watch the Pistons because, like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. As much as I loved that team when they were bad, I loved them too much to watch. I get too emotionally invested at times. Obviously, you guys saw how I reacted to the trade deadline yesterday. Like I get pissed off when my teams don't do well.
Yeah,
I can't watch it be pathetic anymore. And two, Cade was out. Speaking of two, like, I mean, Cade's in. So Detroit Pistons, even if you're not a Pistons fan or just casual basketball watcher, they're worth watching again.
Oh, they are. Absolutely.
It sucks Duren's out, though. It would be better watch if he was in.
Yeah, Duren is one of the most fun players to watch. But I'm excited to see what this Portland core can do. Like I have a lot of belief in Scoot, although he's played trash. Dude hasn't scored 12 points yet in the NBA in a single game. So I need him to step up. But I'm excited to see what this young core can do against a young team. I want to see them, I want to see them take advantage of some matchups. I want to see Asar on Scoot, like you mentioned. I want to see what Cade can do. I want to see Shaden Sharp up close and personal, right? Like another prospect that the Pistons were looking at last year, and one that I was pretty high on. And he's been having a pretty good season to start so far. So he's somebody to look at. It just sucks because I would have loved to have seen Duren just absolutely dominate Ayton once again, for all those people that wanted us to sign DeAndre Ayton after drafting Jalen Duren, which was just the most ridiculous thing. But it's a good game, and this is a game the Pistons should win. What
about those Marvin Bagley overs? Because now Marvin Bagley is going to get a lot more playing time with Cade, and we know about the chemistry those two have together. So be wary of that pick and roll. I think Marvin Bagley is going to have a big night because DeAndre Ayton's not the best defender for sure. So I think he'll be able to go out there and he'll have a good game.
I would only trust his overs on rebounds,
not points.
Like points. Depending on what it is, depending on the line. Yeah. But I feel like Marvin Bagley is a really, really good rebounder. I honestly think that and, like you said, the pick and roll are his two best assets. And honestly, what do you guys think of Wiseman tonight? Like, are you gonna? Are you gonna actually be intrigued?
I feel like
he's gonna get
he has
PT.
to. I think he has to. There's no other center.
Right. I said it's possible they could just stretch, Stu like they used to at the 5 and do whatever they want.
But then they don't got a 4 unless you're doing Joe Harris at the 4 again.
Hell yeah, Joe Harris
which they did a couple days ago.
I feel like it's something they haven't really practiced, so we'll probably get some Wiseman minutes tonight. Yeah. Which I want to see, because why is he DNPs every night?
Wiseman.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
I am excited for Wiseman starting, because I call it what you will, maybe probably a little bit more of my fandom. It's like the Detroit supremacy part of me when it comes to Pistons, like the casual take, I should say. Him being the number 2 overall pick, I thought we'd see something from him. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it doesn't work that way.
He's not good. He's not good. But we're gonna get some playing time for Wiseman. He's gonna get a lot of playing time tonight. He should be getting upwards of 15 minutes. So I expect him to go out there and do his thing to be James Wiseman.
Yeah. And also another thing, Anthony Simons is out. Remember, he injured himself earlier, about a week ago, I think. So he's out too. So again, I really want to see Shaden Sharp.
Do the under on Shaden Sharp or Scoot Henry, because Oscar Thompson's gonna put one of them in a bread box. I don't know who's
going to do that triple double right now. Actually, Weezy D313 with some hate on the rookie Asar Thompson. He says, "Why Keelan didn't get the same rope y'all giving Asar? Remember the team he started with?" And he went on to say that Asar's shooting 28%. Asar's doing so much more.
Yeah.
So much more.
Asar does more.
Above and beyond. Like, this is like, how are you even comparing the two?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 different positions, 2 different body types, 2 different builds, 2 different play styles. Yeah. Asar is a piece that every single team in the league wants.
Yes.
Like if the Lakers could get him Asar Thompson, they would in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? He's just like a championship piece. I don't even. That's Weezy D. I love you, brother, but come on, I'm
done with the Killian Simps, man. I'm done with Killian Simps. Like I'm over it. Killian should not be in the starting lineup.
Hey, they're winning with Killian. I'm cool with it. Especially because
start
Burks.
Start Burks. Start Ivy. Start somebody other than Killian.
He just plays. He plays defense. He's decent at defense.
Yeah. He does. But at what cost when you're 2 for 12? Yeah. Come on, man. Like I'm being serious.
But I respect Killian's defense. You can make up for having one subpar defender in your starting lineup.
That's also the thing too. Is Asar doesn't shoot 2 for 12. He doesn't take 12 shots. Like he will be killing.
He drives.
He will drive. He finish. Yes.
He's got more offensive rebounds than 90% of centers in the NBA. Yeah. Like the guy's averaging 4 offensive rebounds a game. Like Asar is different.
Yeah, I think he's averaging 8 on the year. I'm gonna look it up right now. Actually.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
I saw it, but yesterday he's averaging 4 offensive rebounds per game, which is number 1 in the NBA.
Yeah. Hold on. This is a rookie we're talking about. He's top 10 in blocks right now. He's averaging 2.5 blocks a game. I want to say he might be just outside the top 15 in rebounds too. He's averaging 10 rebounds a game. It's not the same. It's not the same comp. Again, Weezy D, love you, brother, but that's just. I mean, I don't think I'm going too hard on you. We're kind of just letting you know why. There's just not the same conversation at all. Killian and Asar are just 2 different players.
Yeah,
completely.
For sure.
Top of Asar could just guard more positions.
For sure, he's bigger, he's stronger.
I'm looking for that triple.
He's better in transition. He's more aggressive. Killian's not aggressive going to the hoop. Killian can't finish with his offhand. Like, Asor can do a lot of different things. He's a lob threat. He's way more athletic. Like, please don't do that.
You ever do those combo bets with like points, rebounds, assists?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Asor's at 22.5. What are we thinking, boys?
Over.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
It's
that's
minus
what I'm
odds on DraftKings.
I don't know where to find this triple double bet. Where'd you find that at, Chris? When you did it the other week?
Triple double? Oh, it came up. It came
It's
up
all
for
at the
SGA,
bottom. Oh,
but
I see
it didn't come up. Did it come up for Asar too?
No, I just see double.
Yeah, I just see double, and that's plus odds still. But it's like
You can double and then parlay it with 10 points or 10 rebounds or whatever the other one is.
It's plus 195 for a double.
Yeah,
it's pretty low.
Which is still really good considering
you can
no Duren.
just make your own triple double bet. Like, do over 10 points, over 10 rebounds, over 10 assists.
Yeah, I'm tripping. He ain't having no triple double.
Yeah,
he ain't getting over 10 assists. He's averaging 4 on the season, but it's like 3, 6, 5, and 3.
Yeah.
He ain't getting.
But
I feel like Duren would have to be out there for him to get the triple double.
But I mean, for a game like this, again against a young team, a young team like Portland, this is a game that the Pistons should definitely win. Again, Portland is clearly a tanking team. They are a team, one of the few teams that's younger than the Pistons. So they should definitely be able to take advantage of this, get a good win. It's at home. So you need to move to 2-0 at home. That's important for a young team to win as many home games as you can, because young teams struggle on the road. So this is a game that I think the Pistons should win, and should win pretty handedly, especially coming after that loss to OKC, where they did not play well.
It's fair.
Jared Goff dropped to 10th and 11th, respectively, on FanDuel and DraftKings and MVP odds. You think it's fair to demand my money from Detroit Supremacy right now?
No.
Detroit Supremacy, do you want to send the money now? I'm just saying.
See how it shakes out for sure.
I'm just saying, dog. You got Dave Montgomery coming back too. These running backs about to be going off. The Detroit Lions. Oh yeah, I don't get these short times. I mean, Weezy D, I think you're literally the only human. Whoa, hold on. Weezy D says Killian Asor has the same type of dog in him. No,
absolutely not.
No, nope.
Killian's French.
Yeah, there's French poodles.
Yeah,
there's French
bulldogs.
French bulldogs. So they're like really expensive
the
ones,
little
right?
Cute ones. Yeah, Jesse's got one.
Yeah, they are cute. His is like the cutest.
His
I'm
is
not gonna
super
lie.
cute. Yeah.
But yeah, sports. Let's go to break early. Tell us about Guardian Alarm when we get back. Talking some more NFL power rankings.
Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
And let them know Woodward Sports sent you. Is there a knife or scissors over there? You guys scissors?
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished.
Yeah.
The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy.
The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Thanks, bro.
No problem.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main
Let's
Street.
go.
The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Dispo.
Dispo Dispensary is your local cannabis plug. They got the finest curated cannabis in the business. There's 12 locations across the great state of Michigan. If you can't make it to one, they can make it to you. They got Dispo Dashes. Visit disposhops.com and they'll get it delivered to you. JB might be the one pulling up on you. So make sure you're 21 and up. By the way, the Dispo in Romeo, first campus mall in Michigan, open to midnight. Make sure you guys stop by.
Check it out.
Check it out. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy. I spin more racks.
What up, though?
Young Chris. We got Casper, the friendly ghost, on the ones and twos. Shout out
to
stepping
him.
up, filling in for the boys. Time to get to NFL topics, Penny, because this week we're going to be talking a lot of NFL. There's no Detroit Lions. It's a bye week for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
They don't play until next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. Spinny, who is the best team in the NFL in your power rankings? There's no graphic for it, so you might have to pull it up on your phone.
Oh, let me pull it up.
Do you remember who you ranked number one?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles for me, too.
Yeah.
Number two, you want to hear mine?
Let's hear it.
The Baltimore Ravens.
So is mine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think they need a little bit more respect. The last week, I had them 3. And I saw them at 3 for a couple other guys, too. I feel like they're kind of just like flying underneath the radar for some reason. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I got the Baltimore Ravens, number 2. Obviously had a kind of a poopy outing against the Arizona Cardinals to begin with, but finished off that game pretty strong. Lamar only like 170-something yards and 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the type of style they play in the AFC North. That's the type of style they play with Lamar Jackson the way, because remember the Greg Roman days? But for me, he's probably still, in my eyes, might end up being the MVP this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be one of the favorites for MVP so far this season for sure. He's still Lamar Jackson. He's still doing great things and playing at a high level. So I got the Ravens at number 2. And number 3, I have the Miami Dolphins. Like, the Miami Dolphins, they've got an unstoppable offensive attack with those guys, with Tyreek Hill, with Ahmed, with Hope Mozart, getting those guys back.
For some reason, I thought you made a name up there.
No, Salvan Ahmed. And obviously, they still have Jalen Waddle, and they just got Jalen Ramsey back. Like, getting Jalen Ramsey back is extremely important for them to go out there with Javon Holland, with the other guys they have in the secondary. I expect the Dolphins to be a very good team for a while.
My number 3, I know it's going to be up against it, and I know I kind of simp for this team. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They just gone out. They've won it every single way you could go out there and win a football game. Defensively, offensively dominant. I mean, they kind of sound almost at every level of the game. Travis Etienne, I think he's broken out into becoming a star. I think he had the 1 touchdown that may have been in that game.
Balling, dude.
He has been balling. It's almost a lock any given week for like an anytime touchdown. Travis Etienne, especially if you catch like a boosted odds on it. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he has the makings of a superstar quarterback. I like the pieces around him. I like the coach, Doug Peterson, a Super Bowl winning coach who beat Bill Belichick with Big Dick Nick Foles as the quarterback in that one, outdueling Tom Brady. I think Doug Peterson can get the job done. They got phenomenal pieces around him. I like Christian Kirk a lot. Obviously, Calvin really give you something nasty from here and there. I think they got the makings of a team that's going to be hard to bump out of the playoffs, especially one you don't want to see.
Yeah.
For me, the Dolphins, they fell to number 4 for me, simply because when they go up against the better teams, kind of the Lions, when they go up against the Bills or they went up against the Eagles, granted, those are 2 phenomenal teams, they walked home with L's.
Yeah.
And like,
they got Jalen Ramsey back, though.
They did get Jalen Ramsey back. He almost had a pick 6. Could have had a pick 6 if he cut inside, probably.
Yeah.
But he's probably, I don't know if he's conditioned to make that run. He is. I love Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey's the man.
Who's your number 4?
Number 4, I have the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs at number 4. I still think, obviously they got Patrick. Yeah, they lost to the Broncos, but stinkers happen. Stinkers happen even for good teams. So I expect the Chiefs to bounce back. I expect them to have a good season. They still got Andy Reid. They still got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones. And I believe they're 6-1 as well on the season. Like, they're a very good team. So, or 6-2 now. So I got the Chiefs at number 4.
Number 4, I said it earlier, I had the Miami Dolphins. And number 5 is where you'll find the Kansas City Chiefs for me. I just haven't got a feel of any type of consistency from them. Even Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked like Patrick Mahomes this year. Like, I got the Super Bowl bet going with Casual Supreme, but it's Patrick Mahomes is like the favorite in a lot of these odds, but he hasn't really looked like MVP-esque. I feel like they're just kind of banking on him looking that way at some point down the stretch. But the Kansas City Chiefs, number 5 for me. And then, again, power rankings, these are weekly. I'm sure they'll bounce back up. But I lost to the Broncos. You got to take a little bit of dip for me. At number 6, I got the Buffalo Bills. Is that too high?
Yeah, I think so. They're not even on my top 10. At number 5, though, I have the Jags. They're right under the Chiefs for me. Like I said,
I
I have the Chiefs at 4. I have the Jags at number 5. I agree with what you said, man. They got studs everywhere. Travis Etienne looks like a superstar. Trevor Lawrence is rounding into form. He's having a better stretch of the season that he did in the beginning of the year, so I expect them to get better and better. They've got weapons on offense. They just added another guard in free agency to shore up that offensive line and make things easier for Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. So I got the Jags at number 5. At number 6, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Like, they are loaded, man. They've got their secondary is fantastic. Their defensive line is great, and now they just added Leonard Williams to that defensive line to give them even more pressure up the middle. We know about their offense. Kenneth Walker's playing great. Charbonnet looks good when he's in there. They have DK Metcalf. They have Tyler Lockett. They're unlocking Jackson Smith and Jigba as a player out there, and Geno Smith is performing very well again this season. They've got a Super Bowl head coach in Pete Carroll, and like I said, that defense is loaded. They have one of the best secondaries in football. So I got the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 6.
Number 6, I kind of gave I told you the Bills. I get the way they've been winning games haven't been the prettiest, but I feel like they're just one of those teams. They're gonna beat you. It doesn't matter how they do it. They're gonna come down to it. Josh Allen can just give it to you anytime, any moment. I don't want to sleep on a team like that. I don't want to doubt a team like that. Number 7. I know people are going to be mad because I haven't said the Detroit Lions yet, but number 7, I got the Seattle Seahawks. I think they have a little bit more reputable wins on there. I think they obviously got better with the addition of Leonard Williams they added to their team this past weekend, and it's a team that just you can't deny the fact that they own the Detroit Lions. For the past 3 years, they've owned the Detroit Lions. For that reason, I had to give them a nod just over the Detroit Lions. So at number 7, I got the Seattle Seahawks.
At number 7, I have the Detroit Lions. I have them out there. Obviously they had a great win against the Raiders. We'll see what happens going forward. But they have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. They've proven that they're going to continue to beat up on lesser competition. They're going to go out there and beat the teams they should beat, win the games they should win, and I love to see that. The defense was looking really, really, really good against the Raiders. Obviously, the Raiders' offensive line sucks, and Jimmy G played a terrible game, but still, I got them at number 7.
Number 7, you got the Detroit Lions. Number 8, I got the Detroit Lions. Destroying shitty teams in dominant fashion, going up against the better end teams. Different stories we're walking away from. I think this is a team that can move up the rankings. I know that the Chargers haven't been the greatest on paper when you look at their record, but I think they're a hell of an out if you're going up against them head up. So if they're able to beat the Chargers, as crazy as it sounds, it's going to be a big plus for me, because the Chargers are the type of team that the Lions this year would lose to. I don't care about their record. They're stacked with talent. They have Austin Eckler back too. I think people forget that when they're looking across those L's they've been taking. But I got the Detroit Lions at number 8. And number 9, San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, I have the Niners at number 8, right behind right behind the Lions as well. I think, like you said, the Lions are playing well. The Niners on a 3-game skid. Like, you can't just throw that away. Even though they added Chase Young, we'll have to see how that looks together, how those guys look together. I can easily see the Niners jumping back into the top 5 pretty soon with the addition of Chase Young, getting Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams back. I expect the Niners to be much better than they have played in the past 3 games. But as of right now, I got them at number 8.
Number 9 for me was the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy. A couple of the audience is going to hate to hear this, but it's the Jared Goff to me. You know what I'm saying? But the benefit for them, they got him on a rookie deal. They got your mid to good quarterback stacked by a phenomenal roster and a great coaching staff. You're going to win games. They added Chase Young. I think that's going to be a phenomenal add for them. Especially got Nick Bosa commanding double teams, Jason Hargrave in the middle there too.
Eric
Armstead. I mean, maybe that's where Dominic Sue ends up going, because it's easy work for making him looking good. Yeah. Maybe get another ring too. But the 49ers are definitely a team to be reckoned with. I know they're on a little bit of a skid. I don't think it should be forgotten that they lost that Browns game on a missed field goal that Jake Moody probably should have made. Michigan alum, shout out. But the 49ers for me right now are number 9. Spinny, who's your number 9?
At number 9, I got the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I think their offense is rounding into form. They're starting to show some signs of life on there. I don't know what happened. I still don't trust Mike McCarthy. I still don't trust Rain Dakota Prescott. But the offense has looked a lot better these past couple years, and we know what their defense is. Even without Trayvon Diggs, they have a good secondary full of playmakers. They've got one of the best defensive lines in football, and they continue to make things happen. They're beating up on some lesser teams, but, all these teams that are good, all these teams in the top 10 should be doing that. Mm-hmm. So give me the Dallas Cowboys at number 9.
The Cowboys, defensively against pass first teams, they're going to look phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I think you had that in this matchup against the Rams, and they look just that. The Rams also have the youngest team in the league, and the Cowboys did what they should have did, beat up on the lesser team without a lot of the starred players. I'm not that impressed with what they've been able to put out offensively. There's been no type of consistency. Dak Prescott had like 4 touchdowns last week, but again, it's against like a shitty Rams team that gave you the ball like 4 or 5 times. It's nothing I'm blown away with. I unfortunately don't have them in my top 10, but rounding out my top 10, I have a team that I believe is better than the Cowboys and probably rise up this list as the season goes on, the Cincinnati Bengals. Mm-hmm. To start the season how they started, and which was laughable, clowning them, they're right back in the mix. Yeah, I mean, the record's 4-3, but that's going to get you into the playoffs. And when they went the very first year, if I'm not mistaken, it was a wild card berth, and they rolled that thing all the way into the Super Bowl. And unfortunately lost a stacked Rams team and one of the better coaches, Sean McVay. Cincinnati Bengals for me, number 10. I got them over the Cowboys.
Yeah, I got the Bengals at number 10 as well. Like you said, they're playing a lot more like they were in their Super Bowl run in these past couple of games. You look them hitting shots deep down the field to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has proven he is still one of the best wide receivers in football. He's going out there making things happen. Joe Mixon is as solid as it comes at running back. Like, he might not be flashy, he might not be doing all this stuff, but year in, year out, you know what he's going to give you. He's a very consistent running back in this league, and he's a very solid running back in this league. We talked about Jamar Chase, but they also have T. Higgins. They also have Tyler Boyd. Like, they've got a lot of weapons over there, and Joe Burrow, it looks like he's healthy now. It looks like he's getting back into the swing of things, being Joe Cool again. So I got the Bengals at number 9, and like you said, they could easily shoot up this list pretty fast.
Bengals number 9 or 10?
Or 10, yeah.
10, yeah. Yeah, I got the Cowboys just outside.
I got the Bills just outside.
I'm definitely like a Cowboys hater. I think I will give myself this criticism. I do have the Bills a little bit too high. Yeah. A lot of bit too high, to be honest with you. Yeah. I'd probably put the Lions over them at this point, Seahawks over them at this point. Niners maybe just ahead of them, maybe even the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bills aren't even in my top 10.
Yeah,
they're just outside.
Chris, you raised a hand.
While we're on the Bengals, yes, thank you for noticing. While we're on the Bengals, I heard a stat earlier this week. I don't know if the line changed, but I think it was Monday or Tuesday. They were plus 330 to win the division. I know Baltimore's in that division, but I feel like that's not bad odds for how they're rounding into form.
It's not bad odds. I mean, I don't think they're going to beat Baltimore. I think Baltimore is legit. They have a much better defense than the Cincinnati Bengals.
And they already got one over them.
And they already have one win over them. So I would roll with Baltimore, but if you want to play it for the odds, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Couple comments from Woodward Sports Chat. I'm with you, by the way, too. The Bengals Joe B looks like he's back to form, and Jamar Chase is just a monster.
Yeah.
I think Higgins finally snapped off his little bit of slump too. Mm-hmm. 69 yards, no pun intended. Ken asked, how are we over the Niners if they would destroy us? Sometimes it's hard to make. Power rankings do get a little bit stressful. Yeah. And kind of hard to make. Obviously, you can just wing it, but like football math is tough.
I got them right under the Lions. I got the 49ers because it's going to take some time. We'll see. We haven't seen it yet with Chase Young, what Chase Young looks like on that line. It's very hard for me to believe it's not going to look fantastic. Yeah. And like I said, they're getting 2 All-Pros back in Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams. So the Niners are going to be much better than they've shown the past couple of weeks.
When you lose coordinators, there's certain teams where things have been in place and set in stone for so long that there's multiple minions beneath you. I apologize for not thinking of a better word there, but example, the San Francisco 49ers, right? They lost Rob Saleh, but they're still able to perform under DeMeco Ryans. Mm-hmm. But then DeMeco Ryans goes too, on top of mind you, these defensive coordinators who are leaving to start their own head coaching staffs, their own staffs, take a lot of these pieces within the Niners organization as well because they're getting that bump up and pay in different positions. So it's like the Niners have lost a lot of those guys. Steve Wilks, I believe was the offensive coordinator for the Panthers last year. I'm not sure when he was an interim head coach, but he wasn't in the Niners organization beforehand.
Yeah.
He's obviously not the same level of defensive coordinator as Rob Saleh or DeMeco Ryans, and I think they miss him. I think that's been the key difference in this Niners team. On top of Brock Purdy, again, he's that I don't want to be disrespectful because I know there's fans in that chat, but he's that Jared Goff kind of guy who just needs everything going around him for him to be praised the way people want to praise him.
Yeah. Tell us about Mark White.
I'll tell you about Mark White. It's the best place to go when you're buying or selling real estate. Mark White offers you flexibility. Flexibility is key to success. He's got the minute-by-minute listing agreement where you cancel your listing agreement for any reason with no penalty whatsoever. Give him a call today at 248-290-8242 or visit markwhitesales.com.
And tell us about Les Stanford.
Les Stanford, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brands you want at lesstanford.com. Dude, adding Chase Young, bringing back Trent Williams and Debo, the Niners are going to be fucking mean.
Oh yeah, I forgot Trent Williams. Yeah, that could be part of it too. Like the same way we said with Goff, like needing like the offensive line helps Goff look way better than he is. It's the same situation with Brock Purdy. Clearly,
for sure.
If Trent Williams gone and you've seen a different version of him, it's probably why. Mm-hmm. And the defense is not the same either.
I mean, Trent Williams arguably best offensive lineman in the NFL. So
yeah, you can only take so many people from a great coaching staff to where it's going to start to affect the team. Yeah. I'm about to see I don't know if Steve Wilkes was before. Like I know he's with the Panthers, but I don't know what he did. I think he was defensive coordinator.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new
He was defensive passing game coordinator, secondary coach.
The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet.
Top 5 defense and looks
every weeknight from 8 to 10
yeah,
p.m.
You know what I'm saying? Especially got the names back there.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions
sorry for the random
game.
DM, but I haven't been able to figure this one out. And it's been in the forefront of my mind for the past 4 months. WTF is the difference between a cousin and cousins. Oh man.
Send him the Bouchard video.
I don't know, man.
Why? Is it someone get in trouble with?
No, it's just a random guy on Instagram. That's funny.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can also be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 program that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, academic games, K-8 athletics. The Academy of Warren is now accepting enrollment. Go to academyofwarren.net.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually forgot we had hot mics during that commercial break.
Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy. It's been more Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, John Cena, Casper. He's training Casper in the sound booth.
Shout out to John Cena for showing up to the show, helping out. He heard Chris was a Make-A-Wish kid, so this is what he did for him.
Huge moment
have you
for me.
seen the Shane Gillis thing about John Cena?
No.
He's like, John Cena is like the merchant of death for those kids. Like, if you see, because John Cena has like the most Make-A-Wish things. Like, he's done way more than anybody else. He's like, John Cena's like the Grim Reaper for those guys. Yeah. Like, he's like, I tell my guys, like, if you see him coming, get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Danny G in the Woodward Sports chat. So Danny G's a good troll.
Yeah.
Because at times he gets me going, but I just
you get got by trolls a lot.
easy too.
Do I?
Yeah.
Who do you think gets got more by trolls, me or Spinny? I feel like I get more heated when I do go at them.
You, because you literally go Detroit supremacy every time they leave a comment.
Yeah,
You're like,
that guy gets-
okay,
I
I
know
know
he's a troll. I
he's
think he's a
trolling.
cousin.
He's a troll.
I think
He is a troll for sure.
Bet $367.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might love golf, but he's still a troll with a lot of the other stuff he says.
Yeah, that's fair. He does come off. I get got most by trolls.
I think so.
Are you trolling me right now?
I think the way to like conclude this is that yesterday you were like, turn off the chat. Like Spencer was still in the chat. Spencer, you guys both get riled up in the chat.
Yeah,
but you were just like, no, not even looking at the chat yesterday. Like,
yeah,
you
bro.
were not
Because I
having
can't. There's like,
I get it.
There's certain levels of like.
Danny G did get me once or twice for sure.
Yeah, Danny G's got me a few times. He's good at it. It's funny too because I actually blocked him that day. Not even like on purposely blocked. I just we were at this one. I had like shit on my laptop.
Yeah.
But I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yesterday there's the Detroit supremacies that are just gonna like, unless you're talking Super Bowl, unless you're talking golf greatest quarterback of all time, MVP, like they're constantly gonna berate you for your takes. And it's like, I'm sorry, I think for myself, I'm not a fucking sheep. Like,
see, he's getting you right now, and he didn't even say anything.
No, I'm just using him as an example for the reason why, like, I had the chat off for my yesterday.
He just pisses me off.
No, I'm not talking about him specifically. I'm saying guys like that, and I just knew that they were gonna be in the chat because it's fresh off the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And, everyone's coming here, Woodward Sports, for news and information, and I wasn't gonna. I can't deal with that.
Yeah,
I can't deal with that. If with those type of fans, it's not all rainbows and sunshines, like, why do you even listen though? You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you want to hear, I don't know.
I will say you get madder, but when Spencer does get mad, it's funny because he does this thing where he leans back and shows like, okay, see, and like and then he just goes.
And
it's the funniest thing.
I snap on people for sure. Mike Hilton says easy as Korean.
You never know.
You never know. We can't tell with this guy.
Tell you what I am. Jared Goff believer. Super Bowl winning quarterback right there. He can listen. You send John Cena to go like give these kids a last wish. You should send Jared Goff to save them.
Dude, that shit is so funny, man.
On the spot too.
Yeah, that was great.
I wish there was a way to make it a shirt.
You can't do like 4 boxes.
Yeah.
Or 5 boxes.
We have to make names. Because what is it like?
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Is that what it is? But what's like the way?
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Okay.
Jared Goff, Kristen Harper.
I love Kristen Harper. By the way,
she was hanging out with people.
She was, and I like Jared Goff, the human being. I love Jared Goff, the guy off the field. I think he's funny.
Oh man,
he seems like a good guy. But when I have to speak on like football stuff and football abilities, I'm just gonna give it to you straight. I think Jared Goff is cool as shit. Matter of fact, did he give us a head nod? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gave us a head nod. Yeah.
And he knows who we are. Like I don't want to be an asshole, but like like oh yeah, everybody knows the heavyweights. Nothing like that. But, like, we talk more shit about him than a lot of people in this.
Has to go on.
There's been times in interviews where I feel like he was like speaking like the way he answered things was like,
and it's funny
because like, things we've said.
Like I like him a lot, and like you said, as a person, he's very down to earth, very cool guy.
Dude, he's a great guy.
Great for the community.
Walter Payton Man of the Year recipient for the Detroit Lions last year.
Great.
Like he's phenomenal.
Great for the community, does a lot of great things, and he's been playing very well the past 18, 19 games that he's played. But like it's funny, like to me,
he dresses Willy Wonka yesterday.
That we're like trolling him because it's like we're not trolling him.
Yeah.
But like he's a multimillionaire, has made more money than I'll ever think of in my entire life.
Yeah.
Has a smoking hot fiance.
Beautiful.
She's cool too. Yeah, she's very cool. A professional athlete. And we're just
in your favorite sport.
In our favorite sport. And we're just two fat nerds behind a desk. Like, yeah, this guy fucking sucks. Like,
yeah.
It's funny.
That is the beautiful thing of like this job. And that's the part too is like people try to call your fandom and stuff like that. It's like you can question moves and still have. Like I'll say this on the Brad Holmes standpoint because I did go a little bit hard yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I made an L meme and posted it to my public profile. I unfollowed the Detroit Lions for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
or 2 hours.
20
probably.
minutes.
I was just let down because of the amount of faith I had in him. If that makes sense. Like I had faith that like we were gonna see him execute the same recipe we see these winning organizations do, which is make a trade at the deadline for the stud guys that are there.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only did it not happen, but it happened for like way less of a value than I thought it would be. It was a compensatory pick, which is brilliant on the 49ers part, because even if Chase Young, we talked about yesterday, he walks away, they're getting a draft pick back regardless, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, I just had a lot of faith in him to do stuff like that, and that maybe that's my fault for that being the way I perceive winning. But I look again at the winning organizations; that's what they're literally all doing. If Brad Holmes could come in and do it a different way, we'll have to wait and see. And maybe I talked about this with Booner a little bit yesterday too. Is like
maybe he's waiting until next year.
Exactly, and I think that's the part where I see people getting on your ass about that yesterday. By the way, I was getting like battered, and then they'd send the clip. I'm like, I never said that. It'd be you saying it. I'm like, that's literally not even me fucking talking. Like, what are you? Yeah, that's pissing me off even more.
Let's go.
But is there
bulletproof?
Is it possible that like he didn't believe in the team this year, and that's why he didn't make the move? Like. Because I remember I listened to his speak. He's like, well, we have a plan. And obviously, we're not at the stage of that plan where he's ready to go all in, and they feel like they're still developing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's two things. Is that one, Booner said this, and I disagree with it, is he said that, do you think Brad Holmes didn't make a move because he believes they're there? Like, he's like, do you really think that Brad Holmes, if he was there? I'm like, no, I disagree with it. I 100% disagree with that. If you're confident in your team, you go in to bolster those odds.
Yeah,
so,
if you believe you're there, it's even more reason for you to make
exactly,
it.
Exactly.
If you don't believe you're there, then you want to keep that draft capital. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also the other thing is too, like, you're talking about going all in is not trading a 3rd or 4th round pick. Like, that's where I get mad. Is like the Rams trading 2 firsts. Okay, that's an all in move.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways you could have improved this team this year and increased your title window and chances this year without having to mortgage your entire future. You didn't have to trade every single pick imaginable to get some talented players, as we've seen, because those talented players got dealt, and they got dealt for things that are a price but not a hefty price.
Yeah,
that was my issue with it.
Tell us about Glorious.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll just say this real quick too before Chris tells about Glorious. Is like, I saw the stuff come out about Chase Young where it was like people in the coach staff are questioning his effort and stuff like that. But it's like, you can keep all that, because when it's the 49ers, who've been in 3 consecutive conference championships, skipped 1 or 2 years, and then was in 3 consecutive before that too, and they're the one making the calls to say, hey, this kid's still good enough to bring onto our team. That's when, like, that's just discredited to me.
Do you remember the last time the 49ers traded for a Washington player that was disgruntled, had a bad attitude, took plays off, took games off?
Who was it?
Trent Williams. That worked
Great.
out pretty well.
Yeah,
that sounds decent.
That's the other thing too. Like, we could go about it all day. But Chris,
let me tell you about Glorious Cannabis. Let's get off of this. This is depressing. Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. You can find them at Dispo Dispensary and get them 25% off using the code Woodward online at gloriouscanna.com. Glorious.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
RP.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafredi, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades.
I remember him
with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Did you see that video of
Outdoor?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down,
The video
$10
of
a month with over 2,400
Jordan Poole
and equipment for everyone.
getting blocked by Porzingis.
Get in, get energized.
Oh, dude, it's so funny. He's trying to be cool and like walk back to the 3-point line, like turn around and do a jump shot real quick.
Judgment-free zone. So join today for
Block that
$1
shit.
down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Outdoor.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for power outdoor equipment, sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more, servicing the Great Lakes regional locations of Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
I think, by the way, welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. Easy, Spin More Racks, young Chris, Casper.
Shout out Casper.
By the way,
appreciate you, brother.
Rest in peace,
Appreciate
Bob Knight,
you.
absolute legend of the sport of basketball.
Yeah, R.I.P. Bob Knight.
Rest in peace.
Oh, that was for real?
And shout out to Lomas. We didn't.
Oh yeah, shout out
we
to
didn't
Lomas for
mention
making
that
the Detroit
yesterday
Lions
because
ring
it
of
was
honor.
so emotional.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lomas Brown for making the Lions pride. He deserves it.
Yeah, overdue.
And then I did want to mention, I guess, if we continue the conversation about the trade deadline a little bit, a calmer conversation, I will say, is like a lot of people are like, oh, the draft capital, like why waste it? You know, Brad Holmes is better with it, but so is John Lynch. And if Brad is like him,
John Lynch is very good in the draft.
If Brad is him at drafting, then you should be less concerned with giving away that draft capital because you know he's going to get it back with the rest of his picks.
That would make sense.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you pointing yourself, Chris?
And another one. Another one. Like, again, if Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are these amazing coordinators that we believe they are, and they're leaving, compensation is coming.
Yes.
Like, even more reason to trade draft picks because you want to utilize them.
He's white.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you can you have further compensation down the line if you believe in these things. So it's even more. Again, you have an extra 3rd round pick this year. Like, I don't get it, man. I feel like there was ways to just improve the team a lot, increase the title window this year without mortgaging the future. I don't see a 3rd or 4th round pick as mortgaging the future. I see it as a cost-effective trade for a team that has a very real shot at being number 1 in their conference, not their division, conference.
And maybe I was just higher on this team than they
Chico
are.
G's right. John Lynch traded 3 firsts for Trey Lance. It's true.
He did.
But he also drafted George Kittle, Fred Warner, Forrest Buckner.
Who's that safety they have?
Hufunga.
Yeah, he's like John Lynch is nice.
Brandon Ayuk.
But that's the thing.
Samuel.
Because he's nice like that. He can afford to make take those risks because he knows he's going to eat elsewhere. You know
He
what I'm
also
saying?
traded for Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams.
Mhm.
They drafted Brock Purdy.
The other thing too is I just had higher expectations of this team than Brad Holmes did. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's on me. I felt like, I mean, to be realistic, in our lifetimes, this is the best team we've had. And I'm not talking about team like top to bottom, like roster, which maybe it still is there too.
Probably is.
Stafford,
most complete.
Yeah, but I mean Stafford, Sue, Ziggy, Quinn, Slay, like that shit was nice. I could argue that was probably maybe a little bit more talented roster, just on your starting pieces rather than like your depth pieces on top of that. But the coaching staff that was not there. Like I guarantee, if Dan Campbell, AG, and Ben Johnson had Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, Reggie Bush, Joik Bell, the offensive line wasn't what it is now, obviously. But if Dan Campbell had that roster, Brad Holmes probably go all in at that deadline. You know what I'm saying? That team would probably be a Super Bowl contender with these coaches. That's the piece that we've never had before. Like I don't think there's any doubt about it. Obviously, Sean McVay, I'd say he knows the game really well. Les Snead knows the game really well. Brad Holmes is part of that situation too, and they made the upgrade from Goff to Stafford. That's why I hate when I see like the Goff better than Stafford stuff, or Goff get all the credit for the Detroit Lions team winning. Everything we're seeing with this team is shit we've never seen before, and that's the GM and head coach at an elite level, which we've never seen. That is the reason why this team is operating, performing the way it is, and that's why I had to apologize for going a little bit too hard on Brad Holmes. But like that's the core of this team that's making it go right now.
Mm-hmm.
Same way with Howie Roseman over there in Philly. Brett Veach, I guess, to a certain extent, because he didn't really draft Mahomes, but he's been handling that situation well, getting rid of Tyreek and dealing with Chris Jones and stuff like that too. And John Lynch too. It's like that's why I think deserves the credit for this team's success. And I guess I was going a little bit too hard. Definitely still disappointed though.
Oh,
What?
They're all joking. Brian Ferentz to the Raiders.
Yeah, why would you even believe that? Deadline's donezo.
Just because you could criticize him for this trade deadline doesn't mean, now you're saying he's a washed GM. No, like every good GM, every single GM, every great GM has made mistakes. It's not these world of absolutes where every single trade, signing, and draft pick is a hit and every other one is a bust. Like there's a lot of gray area in this, and that's what makes the great GMs great, is that they get more right than wrong, but every GM gets things wrong. I personally think he got this deadline wrong. It doesn't mean that he's a terrible GM. I've never said that. Like those are two separate thoughts.
For sure. This is the closest I thought we were a championship at the end of the day. And
that's why it hurts.
Brad Holmes at camp doesn't feel that way.
Yep. But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. For Easy, for Chris, for Casper the Friendly Ghost, I'm Spencer Raxter. We are the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Sade.